Digestion in grass-eating animals. About human beings we learned. Now let us learn about the herbivores. Cow, oxen, horse, sheep, goat, all these animals. Buffaloes. They eat grass quickly and swallow it. I told you in the beginning. Because they are always afraid of the tigers and lions and cheetah that may attack them. So what do? When they go to a pasture by the side of the forest, they will be very quick. They will be hurrying through. They will be trying to eat and fill up their stomach as early as possible, because the threat is always there, persisting threat. See, whatever they cut and eat, the incisors and the hard palate in the upper jaw, they cut grass, it goes on swallowing. The swallowed grass goes to the rumen. Rumen is that chamber of the stomach where newly eaten grass is kept, stored. Rumen. Their stomach is multi-chambered, unlike ours. Partially digested food. How? Digestive juices get poured onto that and it gets partly digested, not absolutely. Now this is called as cud. Grass plus this juice mixed up thoroughly is called as cud. What does the animal do? After it is full, it will go and sleep under a tree and start chewing the cud. Hundreds of cows will be there. They start chewing the cud. All the time you see the cow doing like this. If you keep on moving the mouth all the time, your teachers will ask you, what is it, man? Are you chewing the cud? Why are you moving your mouth? Chewing the cud. We don't do it. Animals do it. Herbivores do it. What do? That partly digested food with mucus, with the digestive juices that comes back to the mouth. They have that ability to bring it back to the mouth. Gulp by gulp, roll by roll, they come to the mouth and it keeps on getting it ground. We eat before we get it ground before we eat. They get it ground after they eat. They bring it back to the mouth. See what a difference between man and a cow as far as food intake is concerned. It will coolly, patiently, ball by ball, it will chew and swallow. Another ball comes out. So 2 to 3 hours it will be chewing the cud. So digestion, that grinding job takes place in the mouth. Back to the mouth, it comes back to the mouth, what is it? Cud. It chews, animals chew the food. These animals, herbivores, they chew the food, not carnivores. Carnivores don't do that. This is called as rumination. Rumination. It comes back from the rumen to the mouth. It is ground there. So the process is called rumination. The grass is rich in cellulose. We will come to the another part now. Why? This difference as far as these animals are concerned. Why don't they eat just like human beings? What is the problem? See, the grass they eat is full of cellulose. Cellulose has very little nutrient in it. Very little nutrient. So, those animals which eat grass will have to eat a lot of grass. The food what we eat is quality food. This much is enough. It's packed with nutrients. But the food that the cow takes in is full of cellulose. Very little nutrient will be there, so it can't eat this much of grass. Energy that gets released will not be enough to carry on the day-to-day activities at all. It has to eat so much of grass. The stomach swells up. An elephant eats lot of grass. Otherwise, it won't be full at all. Cattle, humans cannot digest it. we don't have the ability, even if you want to eat a plate full of grass, you can't digest it. We don't have the ability to digest cellulose. So we take in food which has very little cellulose. Cellulose is there in all plant products, but quantum is meager. Cattle have bacteria in their gut that helps in digestion. Cattle have those special bacteria there which can help them in digesting the cellulose. What can act on the cellulose? Our system doesn't have it. You see here, long esophagus, it's eating grass. See, this is rumen. Rumen is the largest part of its stomach. And as it goes on eating, it stretches. That sac stretches. Small intestine is here. From here, it comes back to the mouth as the animal desires. It can bring it back to the mouth whenever it desires so. Next. Now, animals like horse, rabbit have cecum in between esophagus and intestine. Horse and rabbit, they don't chew the cud. They are herbivores, no doubt, but they don't chew the cud. They have cecum, a special sac between the esophagus and intestine. In that sac, digestion takes place. Grass gets collected, there it takes place. See, another way how they feed on grass. Both are herbivores, but we find a difference. One chews the cud, the other doesn't it. One has cecum, this one doesn't have cecum, a big cecum where it can store. Now amoeba. Amoeba is an animalcule. Animalcule means a small micro-sized animal. It doesn't have a set shape. Amoeba, you draw anything like this, a closed figure, it becomes amoeba. And amoeba, when it finds food particles, it puts forth its protoplasm out like a finger-like growth. They are very small, and with the help of that, here is the food particle, let's say, it will envelop it. Or food particle here, it envelops and draws it into its body. The pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet, false feet. It doesn't have feet or hands or brain or anything of that sort. It's all everything, all the activities, day-to-day activities go on in a single cell. So the food particle which is tiny, it is enveloped by pseudopodia and food particle is drawn in. You call it as ingestion. What happens in the human body? It's the same thing. Here it is, the process is very simple, and the complex food particle is broken into simpler particles by the chemicals which are there in the endoplasm. So here food is taken in and ingested or digested with the help of the pseudopodia. That is the case with amoeba. Then diarrhea. What is diarrhea? In human beings you find diarrhea sometimes. You may have to visit the toilet again and again, 5 times, 8 times, and you feel run down later. Diarrhea is passing watery stools. Stools should be in semi-solid condition. Instead of semi-solid condition, if it's watery, then the situation or the phenomenon is called as diarrhea. Bedhi. Passing watery stools. So what should you do? When you have watery stools, what can be done? You have to give that person boiled and cooled water with a pinch of salt added to it. Pinch of salt. Nowadays you get ready water for patients suffering from diarrhea. It's called as oral rehydration solution. ORS. Tasty. You get lemon taste, one with the orange taste, any taste. They are available in the market. It is a special solution meant for people who are suffering from dehydration. This is rehydration. Dehydration, the opposite of it. Because of the watery stools, you start losing much of the water in the tissues of the body. Some people don't drink water at all. I may have to visit the toilet again, they think. No, it is the other way. If you want this diarrhea to come to a halt, if you want to have control on diarrhea, what should you do? Drink plenty of water, pure water. You can keep drinking ORS2 to get strength. If you are running down, have ORS2. You may give a ring to the doctor, ask him what to do. Will you come home, sir? I am in a terrible condition. But don't wait for the doctor to come. Even before the doctor comes, this is the first step that you have to take. Make the person who is suffering from diarrhea get fed with ORS or boiled water which has been cooled down. Cooled down, you can add a little bit of salt to it. That itself is ORS. Need not get ORS. You can prepare ORS in the house and let the patient keep on drinking it. Gulp by gulp, he should keep on drinking. He should compensate for the loss of water that has been due to diarrhea. So this is rehydration. You take in water, no? This is rehydration. What happened when you passed watery stools? That was dehydration. Water goes out. You compensate it. Rehydration. Next. Now we will see a few nutritive habits in animals. I told you about starfish. Then itself I told you. Starfish, it catches a prey. In case it has a shell, it will break open the shell and the prey has to be eaten. It doesn't eat at all. What does it do? Entire starfish will revert itself. Inside comes outside, outside goes inside. The stomach comes out. The stomach gets unfurled, opened out, and prey is drawn in, then it closes and it again goes back to its original shape. The food is digested and nutrients are absorbed. This is starfish. Very interesting feature in the animal kingdom. We cannot do that. Can we bring the stomach out? We cannot. But starfish does it. An amazing magic it does whenever it has food before it. It opens out, reverts itself, swallows it and again gets back to the old posture. Opens shells of marine animals and then pops out its stomach through its mouth. Its stomach gets popped out to eat the soft animal. The stomach then goes back into the body. Now you have housefly. Scraps and puts its saliva on the food. In case some sugar molecules are there, sugar crystals are there, or the baby has spilled food all over, houseflies enter in, they start scraping the food. Scrapping, lapping the food, and puts its saliva on the food. Puts saliva, its stamp, which makes food liquid. Food slowly turns from solid state to liquid state. Then it swallows the food. When it turns into liquid, it starts taking the food into its body. See here. Some sweet is there. How does it lap up? Next. Here you have the hummingbird. Hummingbird. See, for decades together, man thought something different. But today, with lot of research, man has been able to get into each of these and understand the process. You will see here, at one point, scientists believed that hummingbirds drank nectar by sucking it up like juice. They thought a straw-like thing it inserts in and draws the nectar out. Hummingbird, it is the smallest bird in the world. The bird will be only of this size, about 1.5 centimeters in size. You find them especially in West Indies, Cuba, these hummingbirds. The hummingbirds what we see here, they are not actually the hummingbirds. To see the real hummingbird, you have to go there. Then what happens? But we know that although the shape of the beak helps the bird reach deep into the flower, with the help of the beak, it can stay in air for a longer time. Without going forward or backward, it stays in air by flapping its wings and puts its beak inside the flower. It knows where to go. Its long thin tongue does the real work. It has a long thin tongue inside the beak that comes out now when the food is ready there. A hummingbird licks nectar up. It licks. It doesn't suck. So far we thought it sucks. It licks like a dog or a cat. The tongue goes, reaches the food and starts licking it, and it is pulled into the body. The food is, liquid food is pulled into the body. Like a dog lapping at a bowl of water. If you keep a bowl of water, how does the dog drink? The tongue moves up and down, up and down. It laps. Lapping. The action is called as lapping. Come to mosquito. Mosquito too, we thought one straw-like thing goes into the prey, pierces, moves in, draws blood. That's all what we thought so far. Now the latest research says that that is not one straw, there are more than one straw hidden. The mouth, also called a proboscis. In the case of a mosquito, the mouth is called a proboscis, a complex mouth. Isn't just one tiny spear. It is not one single pointed structure, not one spear. Spears are used in the wars. Long sticks will be there and pointed metallic ends will be there. They throw them or they kill the opponent will be with the help of the spear. It's a sophisticated system of 6 thin needle-like mouthparts. There are 6 straws, all attached to one another, that scientists call stylets. They are called as stylets, each of which pierces the skin. Each one separately pierces the skin. So more than one wound will be there. In a tiny space, they enter with 6 stylets, each of which pierces the skin, finds blood vessels and makes it easy for mosquitoes to suck blood. Through all the 6 it will start sucking. If it doesn't happen in one, it will be happening in the other stylets. The insect will get blood. Thank you.